Thanks, everybody. Well, so the general idea here is I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what Beamable is doing to make it easier for games to get to market quicker. Thank you. Why is gaming relevant? Gaming today is the largest entertainment sector globally. It's about 3.5 billion players and about $180 billion in annual revenue. Some folks will tell you that gaming is now part of the overall broader entertainment industry that includes movies and other forms of entertainment, right? So that makes for an even larger industry altogether. And as you'll see, the largest number of players in gaming is in Asia, followed by Middle East and Africa, and then Europe. So there's a demand for gaming worldwide, and the industry is continuing to grow and is expected to grow at about a 3% annual rate going forward. But there are two trends that are affecting gaming. One, that more and more games are becoming live service games. What that means is you don't just launch a game and you're done. Rather, you aim to keep the game fresh and therefore alive. And usually the bits and pieces that relate to live services or keeping the game live relate to improving the gameplay, keeping players engaged, and monetizing them better. And more game studios are delivering games that are utilizing live services components. The other bit is that because of the way things are going, it's easy to get started building a game, but it's not always easy to take that through to its logical conclusion where you launch a game and have enough runway to acquire users and keep them happy and coming back. So where possible, game studios focus on their niche, which is building the game, and then they prefer to buy rather than build everything else. And that includes live services and other infrastructure that is crucial to actually keeping the game alive and running. What we do at Beamable Network is to make it possible for a game studio to get a game to market cheaper and faster, and of course, more reliably. And the way we achieve that is that, first and foremost, we offer a containerized, a platform as a service where live services are available in a shrink-wrapped form. So you no longer have to build that from scratch. Instead, you can utilize our platform, utilize APIs for specific purposes, and you're good to go. The other bit, as a result of being able to just plug and play, is the faster development. And of course, our platform is been tested, so there's a fair bit of reliability built in. We have been around for 5 years, and we currently serve 90+ games live that are on the network today, and generating about $3 million in revenue, and over 8 billion monthly calls on our network. That goes to show it's a reliable, scalable network already. So the transition today that we are working on is to take the existing infrastructure capacity that we are renting from AWS on behalf of our customers. We want to build and move that over into the deepened network, because there are current bare metal server providers who offer the capability to address high-performance game loads at a better price point while still being able to maintain the security and reliability at scale. This is the overall architecture of what we are building. You can imagine a world where the game studio, as I said earlier, focuses on building the game itself, and they're buying capacity for computation workloads. So game studios end up paying for compute resources to the network, Beamable Network, which utilizes enterprise-grade node operators to provide computational capacity, which in turn is then utilized to service game workloads in a containerized fashion. In addition, we have third-party developers who are participants in the marketplace that we have built out, which allows for a thriving ecosystem where not only do game studios get to focus on their own development, but also they get to utilize mods and special development that third-party independent creators have put together. Moving over to the blockchain aspect of things, this is the systems architecture where we intend to record all value creation on the chain itself. As I mentioned earlier, games will bring their compute workloads in a containerized fashion to what we call a router node. And the router node is responsible for building out and maintaining the order book. What that does is it matches incoming containerized workload requirements to supply-side worker nodes, which are able to handle these containerized workloads. I'm sorry. As well, it's these worker nodes that are running containerized microservices deployed onto the individual worker nodes. And we have checker nodes that are making sure that everybody is behaving as they should and acting in the best long-term interest of the network altogether. Checker nodes, router nodes are rewarded based on the overall tokenomics. So they're rewarded from the overall reward pool, the token reward pool, whereas the worker nodes are primarily rewarded through two mechanisms. Not only do they get rewarded for being participants in the network through the token reward pool, but they get bulk of the fee that is paid by the game studio over to the processing partner, which is the worker node itself. The protocol keeps a small percentage of all transactions, and that's necessary for long-term health and operations of the network altogether. As you can imagine, where does growth come from? We've got 90+ games currently live on the network, with a pipeline of about 150 games who are looking to work with us. So as current portfolio of games continues to grow in the number of players who play their games, and new games come onto the network, you anticipate that there'll be more usage of the network capacity, which in turn then causes more compute demand, and therefore greater revenue. And because we are in a deep-in system, greater revenue equals greater upward price pressure on the token itself. The way we've architected the network is that the token holders for Beamable will benefit from network growth, as I described earlier, because we anticipate and expect the treasury to engage in token buybacks. So the foundation uses USDC from the network fee to engage in token buybacks. The games send money over to the worker nodes, of which a portion is deducted by the foundation for system longevity. And then finally, a certain portion of whatever the games may pay does end up going to any third-party developers whose services are being used by the games themselves. Now, to participate in the network, you may operate a node, or you may purchase tokens. If you buy tokens, you are now able to stake your tokens to the worker nodes and therefore participate in the overall systems economy that we've built. I won't go through too much detail of the network rewards beyond saying that we've made sure that a certain portion of the reward pool is unlocked when we go through token launch, which is happening later this year. And what that does is it aligns incentives for the network in the short term and the long term. By unlocking a certain portion of the reward pool early, we incentivize early adoption. We incentivize them with rewards as well. But then over time, as the network scales and we have more participants, the reward pool will shrink or scale depending on the number of participants of each type that we have. Well, this is the list of top 10 deepins in the world today. Beamable, based on its ARR, would slot in the top 10 deepin roster already. It's a pretty healthy place for us to get started. We've got a seasoned team of gaming experts that kind of brought the team together. John and Trapper have worked together before. John is a serial entrepreneur. He's built games based on popular IP. Trapper and John have been working together for 10 years, and Ali's also very well known to both of them. That's about it. If you have any further questions, that's my contact information. Thanks for your attention.